Yo. Yo. What's going on? What up? What up? What's up, Star Lord? What's going on? I don't know what the fuck this is. What is this, man? Man, this shit. Press A to pull. Press A to pull from butt. What? What? Eat the apple. How do you eat the apple? What? You eat the apple in your ass? What the fuck kind of game is this, man? What is this? What? Okay. Go to the sandbox. Okay. No one will ever love you. What the fuck is going on, man? Wait, what? What the fuck?
John woke to the shrill cry of his alarm clock and lay there,
what the
rigid,
fuck is this, man?
his usual morning condition. But there was another reason John couldn't get out of bed. It was the weight. A weight that had nothing to do with his muscles or fat or sweaty blankets. John was weighed down by a piece of paper. The invitation to his high school reunion. From across the years, the words he'd heard in the schoolyard were still clear. You're a loser. No one will ever love you.
What? I don't know what's happening here. I think you need Terry to play this a little. Oh no, Terry. I mean, what is this, man? Look, you got all these crushed up tissues. They got fucking shit in the drawer. You got what? You can switch from... Dude, all the dicks have booty holes. So I don't know what that means.
John had 3 months until the reunion to turn his life around. First, he needed to clean up.
I got a can stuck in my ass. What? Wait, hold on. What is this, man? Ah! I got a shit stuck in the tip of my dick! What up, Lokita? Yeah. I don't know what the fuck this is. But you literally play as a dick. What?
The only reason he'd ordered so much takeout was because Delilah, the delivery peen, made John feel butterflies in his testicles.
Look at that shit! What the fuck? Then put it in the booty.
John suddenly realized the time. Distracted by his new drive to improve his life, he had become late. He needed to hurry, or he'd miss the bus to work.
Oh shit, the hashtags ain't changed? Oh fuck. Hold on, let me see if I can change them. That is hilarious. My hashtags are probably fucked up. Hold on, let me I know that's the party foul, right? let me fix that. Wait, where am I? Where the fuck? I don't even see. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I got the wrong shit. Here, I'm fixing it. Alright. I put Travis Scott out there. Alright, guys, go ahead and refresh so I can have the right fucking hashtag. Alright. It should be right now. It should. Yeah, there it is. It's right. It should be good now. What's up, bro? Egypt, bro. This one's right up. This one right up your alley, bro. You must have had a sixth sense.
John called it his study, but it was basically
Wait,
for
hold
games.
on. I gotta
porn. Mostly porn.
What the fuck is happening here, man? Okay. Bro. That shit's hilarious, man. I just don't understand. So he just eat with his ass? I'm still trying to understand. It absolutely was a fucking vibrator, man. How are they
John
driving
had left
cars?
his apartment late, but if he caught the express bus, he might make it to work on time.
Oh,
John didn't really like his job, but it had two qualities in its favor. One, he could pay his rent, and two, Barbara. Currently John's top candidate for his reunion date.
Look, you. You know. What is that, man?
John noticed a moderately attractive
What
peen
the fuck?
waiting at the stop.
What's up, Ray? When I tell you that I don't understand this game, like... I
He
don't know what
tried
the
to start a conversation and did not get the reaction he'd hoped for. It was probably because he was a minimum wage peen. She could probably sense it.
They got female and male dicks, and that bitch is hit. He said, what kind of shit is this? Oh, shit. Wait, so I can get on the bus?
The office hummed with cold fluorescent lighting. The air was cold and stale, lifeless. How long had John worked here? Long enough
What
to
is
deserve
this,
better.
man? Hold up. What? When I tell you that I'm fucking dumbfounded. Ah! Oh shit.
John was late, but he felt daring. He could sneak into the office through the archives, or he could stroll through the front entrance with enough confidence to bluff his boss.
Oh shit, that shit flew in.
John decided to creep in through the archives.
What? Why does this game have narration?
Despite the obvious flaws, John thought it was a
that
good
a
plan
dead guy?
and not a recipe for humiliation.
What is... What's up, Ron?
There was
Listen.
Carl, napping at work.
What's
Just
up,
like
Bacon?
every day
Yo,
for the past
listen.
month. John envied
Hashtag
him.
lamp, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. I was dared to play this in our chat, in our platform chat. Everybody kept saying, it's fucking fun, it's fucking fun. This shit is so fucking weird. You eat with your asshole.
Everyone else was hard at work, grinding away. John
Wait,
might
what?
actually get away with this.
What is this game, man?
The boss. He homed in on John, deluging him with spit and buzzwords. The boss ran out of synonyms for John's failings and gave him an ultimatum. Barbara would definitely not be interested in dating John if he was unemployed. He had to get to the quality assurance department.
What? I am at a loss for words for this fucking game. What? And here's the fucking kicker, like, you can switch which part to control. So you can either control the asshole bit, or you could control the tip dick. You see what I'm saying? Like, it depends on how you go. You know, I want to know the people that put the fucking...
There might be a faulty dildo just waiting to cost the company millions in lawsuits. John would have to test them all. Every atom of John's rectum began to vibrate with the frequencies of pure pleasure. His orifice was a paradise. This vibrator would end all wars. It was good.
What? They're not gonna make me test 50 motherfuckers, really?
That one was good too.
What?
The Prostate Pounder X900 series, the most advanced vibrator on the market. Sweet mother of no, John, that's too much pleasure for one anus to handle.
What?
John's
Terry ain't gonna watch
but his
this
heart
shit.
was proud. If that vibe had gotten out into the world, it could have injured a customer as badly as it had ravaged his anus.
What? My ass is smoking. I need this fucking...
The boss arrived and congratulated John on taking one for the team and jumping on the hand grenade, or in this case, putting it up his butt. John was having trouble following the conversation because he was quite high on suppository painkillers. And then the boss said it. Promotion. Finally, the company was recognizing John's hard work and ignoring his minor faults like lack of talent, constant lateness, and flatulence. John's new office smelt like polished wood and success.
Well, you know Terry ain't
John's
coming to check this shit out.
Sam dropped by. He'd heard John had been hurt.
I got
John
a
said
Band-Aid
he
on
was
my
fine.
ass.
He wasn't a softie to complain about a mildly ruptured rectum. Besides, he had a promotion to celebrate. John had met
What's
Sam
up,
in
Big
college
Mike?
during a sports ball game. He'd given him some stiff competition.
What? Or do I gotta beat him? No!
Not
There it
stiff
is.
enough. They'd started at Flesh Corp product testing together. Nothing builds a friendship like a long day of dildo mounting.
What the fuck?
Yes, John had known Sam
Why
for
is
a
he-
while. But John couldn't hang out with Sam. He had a reunion to prepare for. He was going out with Barbara tonight. He just had to ask her.
Gonna blow out the candles. I can't eat it because my butthole is fucking. I know, it's like, isn't it ironic?
Everyone was quiet, listening to the presentation. A good moment for John to ask Barbara out.
Okay, where's Barbara at? Is this Barbara? What?
That's not Barbara, John.
Wait, hold on. What?
Warmer. Barbara agreed. Well, she nodded.
How is that Barbara?
Things were really going John's way.
Listen.
John tried to act as suave as possible and listened to Barbara talk business. He didn't want to blow his chances at long-term love and short-term sex. Barbara began to talk about monthly feedback figures, and John started to zone out, imagining him and Barbara at the reunion, a power couple. She would make his classmates sick with envy, if he could get her to tone down the boring chatter. John's balls were gripped by certainty. Barbara was the perfect date for the reunion.
Wait, hold on. So, what? Show off your skills behind the bar.
John thought he would impress Barbara by going behind the bar and showing the bartender a thing or two. Despite Barbara's protests that it was unnecessary, John knew that a true gentleman should follow her home.
Man, Big Mike
He was excited.
Bullshit.
There was still 3 months until the reunion, and he'd already landed his perfect date. All he had to do was seal the deal.
Don't tell me, can I put shit in the ass? Let's see. Nope. So is it front? That's amazing that you can't do shit with shit. And you spit out the seeds out the tip of the dick. Wait, what is
Barbara
this?
thanked John for the evening and politely did not invite him inside for coffee or sex, even though John had dropped some pretty obvious hints he'd be into both, or just the sex. The door slammed on John's hopes. He didn't understand. He'd laughed at all Barbara's pie chart jokes.
Shut the fuck
He'd listened
up,
to her boring stories.
I'm not having a
The
blast.
blank eyes of the lawn flamingos were witnesses to John's shame.
This fucking game, man. What is this? What the fuck
John
is this?
began the lonely walk home, thoughts tumbling like shoes in a dryer. He had done everything wrong. Barbara had led him on just to humiliate him.
Okay. But what does that mean, though? Hey, you talking about tip dicking?
John felt empty. How could he get love?
You said you stopped.
He felt like he was missing something, some
Wait,
key to attracting
Is
sex.
that a dick dog?
But John was shooting blanks. What did Peens want?
What the fuck? I can't bust the fucking fence?
Then it hit John out of nowhere. Stuff. He had the success. He just needed to show it
I
off.
just need more shit.
But where was John going to get all the stuff he wanted? John needed a sign. A new day, a new John. He waited outside his local buttload store for it to open, eager to spend his promotion bonus on
Insert
stuff.
tip.
The best way to impress women. If it was buttloads of stuff John wanted, then he would need buttloads of cash. There's nothing like a rectum full of money to make a peen feel like a man.
Fucking game, though. He has erectile dysfunction. Look at this motherfucker. Show us up. Ah! Can I really not get through here because of my fucking balls, man?
Suddenly it occurred to John that he was going to make a lot of choices. And every one of those choices would tell the world who he was. Did he want cheese or sausage?
I don't like these choices at all. I don't like these fucking choices. I guess I'll go with, what should I go with, chat? Sausage or cheese? Worse than sausage. I do have a slight drip. And you fart out of both sides. Cheese. So we got one for sausage, two for sausage. Y'all fucked up, man. Alright, so we got 2 for sausage. You said not cheese, sausage, right? What the fuck is this fucking game, man? Sausage, alright.
Delicious.
I spit out... Hold up. I spit out the sticks that were hooked to the sausage out the tip. What? Can I just eat sausage? Can I eat cheese too? Oh shit.
Also delicious. How could John decide?
Look, oh, there we go. Fuck it.
Mmm. Just so Moorish. Maybe one more. That's enough, John thought.
Wait, one more? I can't eat the last one? There it is. Wait. Oh, I'm full.
What would a date think when they sat in John's home? Comfort or style?
Comfort, for sure.
John went with comfort. Plus, it matched the couch he already had. John weighed up all the differences, but this was a tough choice.
Wait, hold on. What's the difference between these motherfucking TVs? Oh, what is that? Oh, what? Hold up. What the fuck just happened? Okay, fuck it.
John chose the extremely, obviously bad TV.
John realized that it was only 2 months and 29 days until the reunion. Time flies. Cactus or rose?
Oh, no more cactus.
Was John a rugged hero or a romantic poet? If John grew his own flowers, then he'd save on romantic gestures in the long run.
Ooh. Does it really matter where a dick dies?
There was nothing John could take with him to the grave.
Wait. Was that a dick exoskeleton? Hold up.
Except his coffin. Death is inevitable. Style is not.
John liked to get his pizza delivered. That way he could see Delilah, the delivery peen. She always made him smile. Delilah thought pineapple on pizza was gross. This way she would never know John's shameful tastes.
What bedding would Delilah prefer? John couldn't help wondering. Regular sheets, just like the regular pizzas he regularly ordered.
Devoid of any sense of style, buying new clothes would be John's toughest challenge. He bought an outfit without trying it on. It was a hula skirt. I thought you should know that much.
No, I don't want
It's
no
not flattering.
What
Music,
the fuck?
the food of love. Should John go retro sophisticated or just retro?
Here we go. Give me the. He spits
John's
the money
personal
out of this dick.
nostalgia was more important than sound quality.
Every can was made of metal, pulled from the bones of the earth, wrestled to the surface and smelted in roaring furnaces. All so John could buy peas preserved in salty water and stick them up his butt.
What? Look at all this
John's new
shit.
purchases were on the way to his apartment. All he had to do was invite a date over. One look at all his
Lokita.
stuff and they'd be overwhelmed with sexual desire.
Is he
John felt
entertained?
proud and also hungry. It gave him an idea. He should invite Delilah over for dinner.
That's hilarious. I mean, is this real life?
John was excited. Delilah was on her way. He just needed to set the mood to romance.
Okay, so music. Let's see. There we go. Candles. How do I light this shit? Oh, I light it with my ass? What? Okay, scatter roses. Okay, where are the roses? Here we go.
John hoped she didn't have allergies.
That must be Delilah at the door.
My ass is on fire! Oh shit, where? Oh, there it is.
The door opened and there was Delilah. John gulped down his nerves and invited her in. John could tell that Delilah was impressed by his stuff. It was time to crank up the mood to seduction.
What? So what I gotta do? Why is she clenching her motherfucking... Look at this shit! Are y'all seeing this? When I try to get close? What? Wait. Big Mike, look. When I try to get to her, she clenches. What is happening right now? Did she do me? Hold up. Maybe I need to do this.
John wanted to offer Delilah wine, but he'd already popped his cork. Delilah started looking as nervous as John felt. He assumed it was because she was shy too. They really were compatible. Of course, at the reunion, he couldn't mention Delilah was a delivery peen. That would be
A
embarrassing.
delivery peen. No!
Delilah suddenly headed for the door. And just like that, John was alone again. Delilah hadn't even looked at his stuff. The rejection burned. John felt insignificant. He had everything he wanted. The job, the money, the stuff. So much stuff.
Destroy it all!
Your dead technology tapes.
He wanted to destroy all of it. Shove it into the abyss. His stuff didn't matter.
Fuck off, inanimate objects.
Fuck you!
Fuck you, fridge.
He was a shaft in the machine.
Die, couch.
A lonely piston pumping away like all the others in his rigid place. Nothing special about him. Why should Delilah or Barbara or any other peen be interested in dating him? He was just like everyone else and they could tell.
Begone, boxes.
John wanted to be special.
Sayonara, stool.
But he had to face the numb truth. He wasn't. And all the money and stuff he'd ever accumulate wouldn't change that. He thought it would make him unique, but it just made him more like everyone else.
It did.
He should leave it all. Get out of this little town and go on an adventure. See the world. He was a boring corporate drone, but he didn't have to be.
What?
He could be a traveler.
Listen,
exploring
guys,
jungles and climbing
what
mountains.
the fuck is
he
this?
could visit the wonders of the world and get his picture taken. Like Peony Island, the unspoiled
Peony
paradise
Island.
he'd seen on TV. That was it. John had to travel. Bags packed, John was ready to put
This is
5,000
absolutely
miles between
not
him
Game of the Year.
and his problems. He was leaving it all behind.
Let me check in.
John was so close. He could almost smell the freedom of the skies.
Hold up. Oh, okay, here we go.
Security
shit.
sent John back through the detector. John had forgotten he had his nail clippers with him. He'd have to buy another pair soon, or he'd look
Wait,
ridiculous.
nail clippers? Where? What nails does this dick have? Where's the nails at? What is this? Okay.
When the acceleration of takeoff had slackened, John felt a sweet relief. He had left his worries on the runway.
Oh!
He was
That
up in
one
the
is spitting
clouds
green
on
shit.
his way to adventure. John's adventure had begun at last, and clearly it was a small world after all, and also a flat one. That was going to piss off the globeheads.
Experience the wonders. Oh shit, I'm in the water. What the fuck? That is hilarious. Ah! Does anybody get a girlfriend idea? This fucking snake. Ah! Fucking snake wouldn't let go, man. What? Wait, so I haven't experienced shit? 2 of 13. Okay. There's that. And what else is there, motherfucker? Wait, where's my fucking money? Can I get my money back? No! Oh, I was about to say, damn, did I go into the abyss up in this bitch? Okay, so there's that. Wait, am I supposed to suck some of this shit in? Oh! What the fuck? Wait, hold on. Ah! This game hurts my motherfucking dick. I mean, this game literally hurts my fucking dick. I mean, a swimming dick? I mean, like, you know, the dude who created, whoever created this game, you know. Oh!
John was having fun, but something told him he needed to go home. Probably his empty bank account. John was on his way back home. He was out of money, but money can't buy love.
Is that another
What it
dead
can
penis?
buy are the experiences that had made John a more interesting and developed person, with 100 Buckstagram photos to prove it. Finally, everything was going smoothly. John felt good to be back on the familiar ground of home, but he would feel better to be on the familiar mattress of home.
Which one's my luggage?
That's not John's bag. Not that one either. John really loved a good prick. It took John back to his summer job picking cacti. He hadn't gone back.
Oh, God. Ah! Oh, my God. Listen, this shit is painful as fuck. Okay, so what am I doing? Am I leaving? What's up, buddy?
Despite John's swell of fresh optimism, traveling was exhausting, and he just really wanted to get home and get some sleep.
Fuck with this word. Fuck. Look it up. I can't wear that. Fuck. What's up, Austin? Here we go. I know you had to pop in just to fucking see. Wait, what happened? Press A. Obviously, this one is mine and shit. No one will ever love you. What?
Another nightmare.
Listen.
John's stress about getting a date for the reunion was making him think of her.
Understand this game.
Harmony. He hadn't seen her in years. Would she be
You
at the
said this should be
reunion?
your Xbox game,
John
man.
shook off the thought. He wasn't a child. He was a fully grown penis.
And I wet the fucking bed, too. Okay.
John, why is the bathroom barricaded?
Foreskin's sake, is that a swan? John had no idea how it
wait.
had gotten into his home,
It's
or
a
why it
dick
hated him so much. It would probably be best to leave it alone.
Okay. Alright. I don't have no fucking TV and shit.
John's butt started to buzz. Had he left a vibrator up there? Whatever it was, he should get it out. John's old phone. They really were indestructible. It was Sam calling.
No, she refused to watch this. She said she didn't want to see this blasphemy. When I told her that the dicks had buttholes, she just couldn't deal with it. She said, I will not support this, Dan. You can go and be a buffoon, but fuck this game.
He wanted to check in on John. The travel looked fun, but it was so sudden. Was John okay?
Yeah, my wife was not feeling this motherfucking
Sam
game.
was such a softie.
Hell, she was
always
arguing like a
worrying
motherfucker with me about you,
feelings.
Big Mike. She said, don't let Big
John
Mike
had
hit you in
only
the
one
booty.
feeling,
I'm like, what?
and it was the feeling of being
I said,
awesome.
listen to yourself.
He could drop Sam a text, but John was on a mission. The reunion was getting closer, and he had to get a date. Fortunately, John knew exactly where to find love.
That's what it is. Hell no. Vague for what? Hold on. Can I take one of these roses?
John held his breath. He was about to meet his match. He had to reassure himself he
What
could do
is
this.
this?
He
This
had a
is
good
like-
job. He had nice stuff. He had traveled. He was ready to
I don't know what
find
this is.
love.
This is like when Harry met Sally, but dicks.
On Weena, where all his sexy travel photos would give him the pick of the pack.
Hold up.
Hot. Sexy.
Helga,
Very nice. Too skinny.
8 inches or more.
Nice shaft.
Teresa.
Too short. Too much foreskin. Very hot. Not enough foreskin.
Take normal.
Gorgeous.
What's up, Quiet? Find the perfect match.
Yep, the pick of the pack.
Get any match. Let's see. Carla. Wait, which way is? So many hours later.
Yes! John had the pick of the pack. John valued
What
honesty in a date, but he had been expecting a different kind of dirty. A sexy and much more hygienic kind.
Motherfucker, back up off me. Ah! Just an ice queen looking for love.
John thought that getting circumcised once was enough.
Oh.
Oh!
Better put that on ice. It'll be okay, John. Chick stick scars. I hope.
I love a teen with a sense of humor.
After the reattachment surgery, the doctors had told John to rest. So he did, for 6 hours.
Hold up.
Ugh, salty.
Did he just... What?
The date was off to a great start. Don't offer her popcorn, John.
Hold up. You said, you said bitch said Schmegma. We got a docking party in here. Okay, what's this?
John was in stitches.
Quiet. Yeah, I'm over it too, actually, man. I just wanted to get on here because Big Mike dared me to and shit.
Karen had invited John straight over. She was not fooling around. Very exciting. And now she wanted him round the back.
What?
Karen let John know that the cake was only for the kids. So was the candy and the piñata.
And you see
And that she'd be back in 1 hour.
We got the Karen's kids. Oh, no. Oh, no. He said, of course you find Hitman here. Oh, yeah, she's not a keeper. It's just a little too slimy.
John laughed at Melody's hilarious bullfrog story. She was adorable. Everything was going perfectly.
Can I hold on to your...
John never saw Melody again.
That Mike dragged you. This is how I
So
got
far,
here.
Weena had been a parade of
This is how I got
weirdos
here,
and
because of Big
rejections. If this date didn't work out, John vowed to give it up. But maybe this time, maybe today would be his day.
He said, no, no, the fuck I didn't.
Sharona sighed and said, "You'll do."
This is... Oh shit, he was pissed.
John felt a little underdressed and a lot overwhelmed. He was surrounded by strangers, and Sharona was glaring at the muscular groom. At least John hadn't missed out on the cake.
Alright,
John
see, I
realized
didn't
that Sharona
embarrass her.
had only brought him to create some penis envy.
She did say it was a compelling story.
So many
But the only reason
reasons.
why I'm here is because you gave it to me for free.
John got excited. They were going to cut the cake. "He's mine!" Sharona screamed as she launched herself at the newlyweds.
What?
Suddenly, penises were up and yelling, "No, he's mine!" It was a no-holds-barred cockfight.
Get the fuck out. Ah! I can't get out. Oh God, he's killing everybody. Come on, get out, get out, get out. Get out. I'm out this bitch.
As John dodged flying glasses and cake, he felt a stab of envy. The groom had dozens of penises after him, and John had none. It was just wrong.
Look how fast this motherfucker.
John left the screams and explosions behind him. It was a disastrous end to his online dating. He had tried everything, and it just wasn't good enough. He wasn't good enough. Maybe the bullies from school were right. John was a natural-born loser. Swans were so simple. If you gave them bread, they liked you. You can't take a swan to a reunion.
That's what I need for that fucking swan in the bathroom. So what the fuck do I do here? Oh, here I go. Okay. This is definitely traumatizing. This is absolutely tragic. Ah!
John wanted what that groom had. Love. Real
Are these
love.
dicks smoking
The
cigarettes?
kind that makes penises fight to the death.
Ah! Fuck you. Ah! Hold on. What? I don't know if the trail is coming from his ass or his tip. I couldn't tell you.
Days later, the question was still bugging John. Why were so many penises in love with the groom, but no one loved John?
Do the dishes? How, Sway?
It wasn't fair. John deserved attention. He had money and Bookstagram pics of his adventures. He even still had quite a lot of stuff. What did that penis have that John didn't?
This is tragic. How?
Then it hit John. That penis was so strong and hard. That's what everyone wanted. That's what John wasn't. That's what John had to be to find love. It was time to hit the gym.
You sweet Jesus.
John arrived at his local gym. A part of him couldn't believe
Quiet,
he was
this
here.
is tragic.
He just wasn't a gym penis. But John had tried everything else. If he wanted to get the perfect date, he'd need to sign up. Sam? What was he doing here? Of course, Sam was married. John's theory was right. If you get muscles, you get love. Out of nowhere, Sam asked John how he was doing. Really doing. For a moment, John wanted to be honest. But he didn't come to gym to be a softie. John was here to get hard. It was John's first time in a gym since school. He tried not to read too much into that.
Look at this uncircumcised ass shit.
Sam went on ahead with a chipper promise to meet up with John inside. John had two options. He could try month by month, Or if he signed the 10-year Big Muscles Big Savings contract, he'd get a free Easy Squeezy water bottle.
John wasn't a sucker. He knew the importance of hydration.
Okay. Wow. What the fuck?
The gym's clean peen pool policy meant that John would have to do something he had never done before. Get naked in front of strangers. Maybe he could set a record for speediest cleanse.
How do I get naked? The controls don't tell you what the fuck to do. It's so funny looking at a naked dick. That makes no fucking sense.
Naked, John could feel the blanket of steam intimately against his private parts. John pretended he was alone and not surrounded by wrinkly, wet cocks. What was John nervous about? That he would be laughed at? There was nothing funny about a naked penis.
Why are they all fucking paying attention?
But John was starting to feel good without clothes. Damn the hygiene issues of using gym equipment naked.
Oh, shit.
Sam enthusiastically greeted John and offered to show him around, obviously not realizing that John was a natural athlete.
The pool was like baptism, the icy water washing away John's flabby flab. He found his stroke, gliding through the water like an eel with large, ungainly testicles.
John stuck close to Sam, just to make sure Sam knew John could swim. Not because John was worried about drowning. No, not that.
Hold on.
This wasn't hard. John couldn't believe peens actually got gold medals just for splashing around. Maybe he could become an Olympian. He was slowing down a bit, flailing a bit. But John pushed on, knowing that looking good in a Speedo was the only thing that could save him from an empty existence. John wanted to take a break, forever. The pool was not his friend. It was not the blissful wet dream of his fantasies. It was a hellish prison of murderous fluid, determined to drown him. No wonder life crawled out of the sea, desperate to escape the water. Done. John had not drowned, but more importantly, he had not quit. Time to hit the weight room.
All right, the weight room. All right.
John's muscles bunched and bulged. The time in the gym was already paying off. Fresh from conquering the pool, John felt ready for anything the gym could throw at him, even heavy metal weights. Clearly, John knew how to handle equipment. Sam cheered John on, as if he needed
Here
it.
it is. Get hard. There it is.
John smashed the mirror. He didn't want to look at his old body. He wanted to be hard. Adrenaline coursed through John's veins, his butthole clenched like a fist.
That is ridiculous.
John was forging himself into the peen he saw on movie screens, bulging and sweat-slicked, hard and shiny.
10 more reps. You see that? Be the best I can be. It's not counting it. Wait, do I gotta use these? Oh, lift weights? Oh, this one. Okay. I'm lifted everybody.
Boom! John was cocked and loaded. Didn't Sam ever get out of breath? The stream of encouragement was exhausting. John was getting used to unmarked syringes lying around.
Look at this motherfucker sleep. Get jacked, do cardio.
Slow and steady. That's right, John. Like a lover. Or pouring gravy.
There it is. Ah, look at this fucking ball. Alright.
That had gotten John's heart rate up and his life expectancy down. John was sweating like a senator on a sex tape, but he wasn't done. John took a deep breath, clenched, and pulled. Sam made this look so easy. John squashed the thought. He'd just have to push harder. John tried to make eye contact with Sam, get in his head a bit.
What?
Sam didn't seem to notice John, but John could tell Sam was impressed. Even though he still hadn't looked at John, not that it mattered to John, because John was in the zone, deep in the zone. With the sound of a deflating truck tire, John's sphincter gave out. Sam congratulated John for trying and told him it was okay to take things slow, as if John was going to quit. Well, he wasn't. John had a mission, and the reunion was getting closer.
It's on your body. He spits the bone out. Just get through it, work. A sphincter. Here we go. That shit ain't paying off. So my balls get big. They actually are though, you ain't lying. What do you do here anyway? My self-worth went up. Okay. Go up to her. Cross the road. Ah! Got it. Oh shit. This is like... Oh. And my blood is still on that blade. Let's do this. Woo! Damn! Fuck! Maybe I can move this. Come on. You can do it, motherfucker. Oh no, this shit is fucking scary as fuck. Do I even get there, or do I just go here? Okay. Did I not find my fucking locker? Fuck. Oh! Why am I naked though? She thought that was bullshit. Wait. What?
As soon as John woke up, the mirror called to him.
My
His abs looked like a pack of
six-pack.
vacuum-sealed hot dogs. Tasty. Jim had remade John into a sculpted Adongus. He was finally everything a peen should be. Successful, traveled, and photogenic. It was time for his morning pre-gym workout.
The swan was starting to like John. It hadn't tried to peck his eye out in hours.
Oh, but if you try to eat its thing. Ah! Wait, what?
The reunion invitation caught John's eye.
Wait, where's the invite?
He read it again.
Okay, there it is.
And again. Stunned. He'd gotten the date wrong. Very wrong. The reunion was tonight. Tonight!
Oh, shit. You said I have to finish this
You'd have
out?
to
I
go
was just
alone.
getting ready to cancel
They'd
the
all
stream,
be there,
dude.
and they'd look at John and they'd know he was still a loser. No, there was still time. John needed a date fast. He'd have to go out. He'd have to make an impact. John had to dress his best, only better. Is this sending the right message?
Hold on.
Oh my, John. Welcome to the gun show.
There we go.
There had to be someone single and desperately alone in the city.
Said you need to
Someone
end-
besides John. He just had to find them. John went straight to the nearest bar. Sure, it was still early, but he couldn't waste any time. There must be some day drinkers he could pick up. It was a classy place. Even the vomit was high quality. The bouncer looked like a hagfish that had taken up lacrosse.
I got in that bitch though.
John stepped into the bar and saw her. The answer to the question, what was John's purpose? Her. Loving her. Being with her. Taking her to the reunion. Their eyes met and John knew she felt the same. Gladys did not feel the same. But John wasn't going to give up on their life together. A couple of drinks would loosen her up to their destiny.
And she's an uncircumcised pig.
Wow. Gladys was not an amateur when it came to drinking. John had to keep up.
Get this bitch drunk.
John's bladder was very full.
Yeah, I got a
Flushed
fucking
as he moved.
Prince Albert.
It was working. Gladys was definitely warming up to John.
Oh shit.
Holy balls. John had never felt such relief.
I can't. I can't get out. Fuck.
If only John could wash off the embarrassment like he washed off the urine.
Wait, so... There you go. I think that's it.
John looked around. Gladys was gone. John cursed his petite bladder.
Where's she at?
The bored bartender shrugged and told John Gladys had left because some creep was trying to get her drunk. The bar was empty. The creep must have left too. It was clear the cockpit was on autopilot. Time for John to hit the next bar.
Oh, I gotta hit another bar? Are you fucking serious?
John's anxiety had sunk under the surface of the beer he'd drunk,
teabaggers.
while his confidence was floating high. This was the place he'd find love. It was empty, except for the bartender. Clearly this bar's only special was unhappy hour. 2 for 1 was a good deal, though, and so far the beer had lifted John's spirits. Another 4 would make him feel twice as good.
I just cannot believe this fucking game.
The
though.
bartender gave John a smile that set
I
his
know, I'm
heart
the-
hammering. He had to impress her.
was so offensive about offering a big tip in exchange for a date? John had thought bartenders loved tips. He needed to find a better club, one with a vibe. John was drawn by the pulse of the music. It pulled him forward like a moth to a fiery death. John was running out of time to find a date and prove that he wasn't a loser. Dancing, the real way to flirt, the way of animals, of wild sexual creatures, John strutted and shook his booty. With booze buzzing round his head, John found himself on the dance floor. Everyone was up close and sweaty. John was exhilarated. He felt alive.
What is this, man? This must be Death
John
Stranding
was
right
working
here,
himself up to try a little bump and grind.
A little bump and grind.
It was a moment out of a movie. John alone on the dance floor with a gorgeous penis, their sexual chemistry exploding. She moved away, coyly. John could tell when someone was playing hard to get.
Her butthole clenches when I get close. That is hilarious, man.
He let her marinate in the tension before making his move. John wasn't taking no for an answer.
What?
Some people have no sense of fun, but John was certain the next bar would be different. The next bar wasn't different. John couldn't understand why everyone was so sensitive. It was like no one wanted to have a good time. Like no one had a sense of humor.
Dixies?
John had meant that as a compliment.
Morning glory?
When did the world get so uptight? John's ego was as bruised as his shaft. He had to admit it. He'd failed. He was where he belonged, in a creepy murder alley covered in trash. Oh, that's gross. Ugh. Oh, it's so moist, but textured. It smells like rotting dick yogurt. John's misery was sour in his mouth. He needed a drink to wash it down. There was still one bar he hadn't been kicked out of yet.
1 hour.
John had cleaned himself up as much as possible. He really needed a mint. John got it in, but he nailed it.
Give me that fucking mint, you bastard.
John let out his anger, his frustration. Life was a shitty joke. It wasn't fair.
You want to mess with John? Do you?
This is what you get. Fuck you, you fucking thing.
Can I get a mint?
You had one job. Die, 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 die!
Give me a fucking mint.
That's how you get what you want.
There we go.
Menthol.
Let's go, Lokita. Double delight.
John wanted the strongest drink they had. Rough night? Someone asked John. He hadn't noticed her when he came in, but now he did. It really had been a rough night for John, but he felt a little better that someone cared enough to ask. It was a pity they were only sort of attractive. But destiny had given John a second chance. John made his move. Unfortunately, according to Alice and her boyfriend Chadrick, it was the wrong move. Chadrick threw John into the alley and followed, making unoriginal but still terrifying threats.
Fuck you.
Get him, John! I can't watch. John had survived. No, he'd won. He'd won. He'd won. He wasn't a loser. And there was the proof lying in a bruised, bloody heap. John didn't need a date to the reunion. He needed to go over there and beat the pre-cum out of those dicks. High school reunion, the perfect time to teach someone a lesson.
How the fuck do I get out? I can't. There it is. Fuck.
The doors of the school. A sight John had dreaded every day for years, and now he was going willingly through them, unafraid, fueled by years of unprocessed anger fermented in loneliness. John was back.
Here we go.
The chickens were coming home to roost, and they were all cocks.
Fuck these bullies at? You in here, bitch? Here we go. Wait, is that?
Whoa, John, save it for the bullies. These were the peanuts he'd grown up with, now with jobs and marriages and beer bellies. John was surprised at how ordinary they had all turned out. He spotted them, John's tormentors. Time for them to feel the wrath.
TMDK.
That's the stuff, John. Ha! Who's a loser now? Who? Shake off the pain, buddy. Whoa! Get in there! Don't let up. Fight back, John!
We'll take Todd out.
How do you like that?
Come on, fuck.
Dodge!
Dodge? How, bitch?
John poured his anger into every punch. Pow! Careful!
Say clap.
Ow!
Ha! John had won. He'd
Let's
won.
go.
No one could say John was a loser now. John's primal joy faded as he saw how the other penises looked at him. Not like a winner, like he was trash. John tumbled down the steps, hitting every bruise on his length and his ego. It was her, Harmony. She had been at the reunion,
She'd seen it all and followed John out. To laugh at him more? No, to see if he was all right. Why did that hurt John so much? This was John's chance to ask her why all those years ago she'd said to him, "No one will ever love you." Harmony stared at John in shock. How could John not know why? Didn't John remember
Listen,
what
I don't know
he'd
why I'm
done?
still fucking playing this bullshit. What the fuck? Did I beat it? Is this starting over? Wait, bees. Okay. Wait, what the fuck? I can't go any further with this shit. I mean, what the fuck is this? This is I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say.
There was nothing Sam enjoyed more than the fresh air of an early morning. The dew sparkling on the grass, the music of the trees, space to think.
Wait, what?
What was that smell? It made Sam's eye water.
Wait, what is the fuck is happening?
It was John, passed out and crusted with vomit and regret. John was awake and tolerably clean. Sam tried to be gentle and invited John to join him on his walk.
What the fuck is...
Sam coaxed John along. It was like herding compost.
Hold up. I am fucked up. What? I can't fucking... Can I not control two dicks, please?
John couldn't answer Sam's questions yet. How had he ended up such a wreck?
I mean... can I... Trying to control this shit is like... Hold up. Okay. I can't fuck it.
The throbbing ache dulled. John was feeling much more himself, and he realized that was not what he wanted to feel. John's stink had given Sam a headache too.
I cannot fucking control this shit.
Sam saw his friend's misery. He suggested they keep going.
You know what? I wish I could squirt money. Here's what I'm doing. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to quit this bullshit. I can't. I bloody can't go any further with these bloody cocks. It's not going down for me. It's a no. I don't want to play. It's bloody dicks. I can't bloody do it. I can't. I bloody can't. I can't. Yeah, I...
John wanted to know something. Why didn't anyone love him? As soon as he said it, he felt like a softie, whining about his feelings. But Sam didn't make fun of him. Sam asked him to go on. And so John told him the whole story, about how hard he'd made himself and how unfair it felt, and everything he'd done. Saying it out loud, John realized he'd sounded like an asshole. But he'd done everything right. Why didn't he get what he wanted? Why didn't John get love? Wanting someone isn't the same as loving them, said Sam. You'll figure it out, John. You have to keep trying. How about a bike ride? Sam asked.
A bike ride? How, Sway?
John struggled to get his balance, but Sam told him not to give up.
What the fuck?
John kept trying, getting better as they went.
What the fuck? Did they really just get on bikes? Is this a real thing? Oh shit, we hurt the kids. Oh shit. This is super weird.
John and Sam
And
stopped
dicks are
and
riding
looked at the
bikes.
sunset.
Like, I don't understand.
For a moment, John let himself be quiet and listen to the world and look at how beautiful it could be.
What?
Life can be hard, said Sam, but that doesn't mean we have to be.
Okay. That was the end right there. Sculpture feelings. Pick flowers. To know Sam's wife and kids. Oh shit. That bitch dead. Write poetry. Failed. They really have Titanic in this world. Okay. Achievement unlocked, a better John. What is happening here, man? Okay. Devolver Digital. Here's the thing. Ooh, what's that noise, man? Okay. Alright. Alright, guys and gals. A review of Genital Jousting. I would have rather played with myself. Was there compelling moments? I'm embarrassed to say, yeah, there may have been a couple of compelling moments. I think the narrator helps. Because literally, a game about dicks with buttholes is already... what the fuck? You see anybody got the rope now? Yeah! You know, listen. You know, this game, if I had to give it a score, right? Like 1 being Crackdown 3, right? And 10 being like fucking the best game ever, right? I give it... Okay. Was I more interested in finishing this game than Crackdown 3? Yes. So we know it's a higher than a 1. I say 4 out of 10. It gets a 4. It's a 4. You know, I just spent 2.5 hours playing with it today, and I had no pleasure. So, this shit is garbage. That was some good shit. I'm sorry, Lokita. I mean, listen, Crackdown 3 was... I don't know. But this gets a 4 out of 10. It does. It's just weird and fucking... The graphics is kind of good, but outside of that... Nah. Alright. Terry, you literally just missed it. So, and you probably wouldn't have been interested anyway. We just got done playing Genital Jousting. So, you know. This will forever live on the fucking channel. I won't delete it, I promise. That's why I said Terry wouldn't have been interested anyway. But, you know, thank you all for watching and tuning in. I cannot believe 8 of you made it all the way through to the end of this fucking game. Now I don't feel so bad. I feel like there's other people that are more fucked up than me. Is this the first game I beat in 2020? Oh, fuck, dude. You may be right, man. Is this the first game I beat in 2020? I'm trying to think if I beat anything else. God damn it, Big Mike. Fuck you. I think this is the first multiplayer. I think this is the first game I beat. In 2020. No, it isn't, because I beat Breath of the Wild. So No, actually, Breath of the Wild was the first game in 2020. I finally beat it. But this will be the second game. This will be the second fucking game I beat in 2020. So, there you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to sign off for now. Thank you all for watching. You can catch us, our show on Twitch at twitch.tv/The Platform Podcast. So, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Follow us on Podbean. Follow us anywhere you can log into. I know Big Mike, you happy. Motherfucker, you been trying to get me to play this bullshit. My hands is washed. But yeah, just let everybody know once again, the Platform Podcast is live on Twitch for the show. We moved from YouTube to Twitch to do our live podcast, so twitch.tv/The Platform Podcast. And shit, we are out. Thank you all. I love you all. I will see you all later. Peace.